Hey everyone, Cody from Mactelecom Networks. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at a super powerful, compact, UniFi cloud gateway that is perfect for your home, small or mid-sized business, and is comparable to the UDM Pro spec-wise, but it could fit on a desk and is very quiet. Introducing the UniFi Cloud Gateway Fiber. If you're looking at buying the Cloud Gateway Fiber, I do have an affiliate link in the description below. Now let's jump right over to the side desk and take a look at the UCG Fiber. And this is the UCG Fiber. On the front, we have our LCM that's going to show us some network statistics. We can see that we have the Ubiquiti logo on top, and then on the back, we have a bunch of ports. Ports 1 to 4 are 2.5 gigabit per second RJ45, with port 4 being PoE+. We also have port 5, which could act as a WAN, and that is RJ45 as well, but it does 10 gigabit per second. And then we have two SFP Plus ports, which are also at 10 gigabit per second. For being a compact form factor, it's pretty amazing that we have three 10 gigabit connections within this. Ports 5 and 7 are our WAN connections. I'm going to be connecting an RJ45 to this port going over to a NAS. This other SFP Plus port will be connecting to another small form factor switch, and then we'll be connecting my internet connection to port 7, with a 10 gigabit SFP RJ45 module. On the side, we also have our power input and then a reset button. On the side, we have a slot for an M2 drive. What the M2 drive would be used for would be UniFi Protect. If you're wanting to use UniFi Protect with this, you can purchase an M2 tray from the Ubiquiti store at $19 US. Some other things that this is capable of: we could have up to 50 UniFi devices inside of the UniFi network application and up to 500 clients. This is capable of doing 5 gigabit per second with our IDS and our IPS turned on. If you want to buy the UCG Fiber with storage already installed, you could do that. There's going to be three different purchasing options. You could either do no storage, 1 terabyte, or 2 terabyte. Now let's go to the dashboard and take a look at the UCG Fiber. We're now on the UniFi network application, and if we click on the UCG Fiber, we could see all of our ports, and then we could go deeper into Port Manager. I ended up plugging my computer and my NAS into the UCG Fiber, as I only have a 2.5 gigabit per second Ethernet interface on this computer. I will be upgrading it to 10 gigabit eventually so that I could do further testing in these videos. But if we click on port 7, that is currently showing as a WAN interface. Scrolling down to port 7, we could make this a LAN port if we'd like, and then we could utilize that at 10 gigabit and maybe plug in a NAS or another 10 gigabit device that we have. Since we made port 7 a LAN port, now we could change any one of these other ports to be our secondary WAN. So say on port 2, we want that to be WAN 2 for failover. We can do that, and that will give us 2.5 gigabit per second. Going over to speedtest.net, we should max out my 2.5 gigabit Ethernet interface. I do have a 3 gigabit connection coming in, and I'm hoping to get at least an 8 gigabit shortly, so we could really test the IDS and the IPS throughput. But let's press go and see what we get. As I thought, we're getting pretty close to that 2.5 gigabit per second, so I just need to wait for the internet in my area to get a little bit faster. Now let's go over to the UCG Fiber and take a look at some of the settings. The UCG Fiber looks like any other UniFi network application. It does not have built-in Wi-Fi in it. If you want a gateway that has built-in Wi-Fi, go and look at the UDR7. We also could create our different networks or our different VLANs. We have our internet connection, and we could do failover or load balancing. We have all of our VPNs that we could do on any other gateway. We have our security, which if we go and we look at the protection and then the intrusion prevention, we have all of the threat categories just like the UDM Pro. If you want to add a little bit more security or some other threat feeds, you could always get the Cyber Secure by Proofpoint, but you don't need to buy into that if you don't want. We also have all of our routing like we normally would, so policy-based routes, port forwarding, static routes, OSPF, DNS, and our NAT. Now taking a look down at the control plane, you could see that we could install any UniFi application that we want. So we have the network, protect, talk, access, connect, and interspace. If you're going to be using this for UniFi Protect, you could have 15 HD cameras, or you could have 8 2K, or you could have 5 4K cameras. So that is a pretty nice size of a camera deployment for a house or a small business. And that's going to be my initial video on the UCG Fiber. I did use this in my house for about 3 weeks with all of my devices, and everything ran smoothly. I have about 15 UniFi devices that were in the UniFi network application and probably only about 40 clients. I think this is going to be a great seller as we have those 3 10 gigabit ports, and it will be great for small to mid-sized business as well as home users. The UCG Fiber also allows us to do site magic, so I could see these going off to remote locations that don't have a full network rack, and maybe they just have a shelf that they need it to sit on, and we could do the site magic to tie back into our hub. If you have any questions about the UCG Fiber, let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up button. If you're new here, please subscribe and hit the bell icon. All right, thanks.